Hi guys, welcome back to Dave's Reviews. Today, hey, it's Tuesday, so that means BookTube Tuesday, and so I got a book review for you. Today I'm going to be discussing the book Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. Now, this book came out a few years ago, and for one reason or another, I just haven't got around to reading it. And so a few months into this year, I decided, you know what, I have all these series that I've been listening to or reading that I really want to try to get caught up on or complete or what have you. And Dr. Sleep is a sequel. As you may or may not know, I mean, it follows Danny Torrance, who was the little boy from The Shining, and now he's a grown man now. And so basically the story catches up with him where he's at in his life. Yeah, so I figured, there's no time better now than to finish this. That'll help complete that little story, unless Stephen King decides to put out another one. Who knows? But yeah, so Dr. Sleep, like I said, it follows Danny Torrance. He's a grown adult now, and he's alcoholic, just like his father was. And he's continually being haunted by the ghosts of the Overlook Hotel. Even though the hotel was destroyed, these ghosts, like the old lady in the bathtub, she's haunting him, and just there's a couple characters that are haunting him. But that part of the story really doesn't last that long. He winds up moving to a little town in New Hampshire where he serves as they call him Dr. Sleep, because he serves as the individual who, because of his gift of The Shining, he can assist people who are going to be passing away, help them release themselves. And he's helped along with his duties with a little cat, Azrael. Just like, you've heard the stories of the cats that go in to lay on the bed of these dying patients, and well, that's what this type of cat does. He goes in, sits on the bed, and then as soon as the cat sits on somebody's bed, they know to call Dan Torrance, because he's Dr. Sleep. And then he comes and helps them along, and then they pass away somewhat peacefully. So he's getting his life back together, working in this like hospice facility, and then he discovers this teenage girl who's living over in Colorado. Her name is Abra Stone, and she is somebody who has the brightest shining that anybody's ever seen. So she is like super powerful with the thing, and so he goes out to help her because she is in very much need of help. As it turns out, there is a group of people. They call themselves the True Knot, and they are led by Rose the Hat. She's a Irish woman who wears this little top hat. And the people in the True Knot, they travel across the highways of America looking for people with The Shining, because what they do is when they kill the person, their shining is released, and they capture it and they store it, and they use that as sustenance. They call it steam. When they kill a shining person, they release their steam and they capture it, and that's what they eat basically. So they're sort of like shining vampires. But they're going across America, and and Rose the Hat, she has the shining ability somewhat, and she connects with this Abra Stone, and she realizes that this girl is like the mother lode of steam, and so that's where the story takes us. It winds up being Dan Torrance and Abra Stone figuring out a way to rid the world of this True Knot. And that's kind of hard because they are somewhat immortal. So, as for Dr. Sleep, I really enjoyed this novel. I like all Stephen King novels. That's sort of almost like a given. I don't think I've ever read one that I really didn't like. This one had everything. He dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's, and everything that you want in a Stephen King novel is there. If you haven't read The Shining and you've only seen the movie, then there's going to be a lot of different, a lot of inconsistencies between the movie and the book, because the Dr. Sleep is a direct sequel to the novel The Shining. Because we all know we all know what Stephen King thought of the movie Shining. So yeah, and he even goes to point in the author's note. He even makes another mention of it. So Dr. Sleep, I absolutely loved it. I listened to it on audiobook, and it was read by Will Patton, who also read the Mr. Mercedes trilogy. I listened to all those three too, so his voice is very familiar to me, and I really enjoyed his rendition or his reading of the story. He's really good. I think he's one of the top audiobook readers as far as for Stephen King, and as far as I'm concerned, he does a really fantastic job every single time. And the audiobook comes in at 18 hours and 35 minutes, which really isn't bad for a Stephen King novel. It's kind of one of his shorter stories, but short doesn't mean that it's missing anything. It's a nice, smooth story, and I really enjoyed it very much. As for Dr. Sleep, the audio version, which, and the print version. As for my rating, I give Dr. Sleep 5 stars out of 5 stars. So that's what I have for you today on this BookTube Tuesday. Stop back next Tuesday for another book review, and I appreciate you watching. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe down below to stay up with all my current book reviews. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button down below. I really appreciate it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.